What's goody boxing heads and fight fans around the world? B Marsh with another boxing video. So yo, the first time I seen this guy Khurtsidze fight or even heard of him, I remember distinctively. This was what are we 2018? What was it? I probably say 2016, right? 2016. That particular night, I was at the DC Armory. I just seen King Kong Ortiz beat up our DC heavyweight Tony Thompson on that undercard. Saddam Ali versus Jesse Vargas. Very good fight. Very good fight. Even I go back at times just to watch that fight between Ali and Jesse Vargas. That was a very good fight. You know what I mean? And I give thanks. I was live in attendance. So that same night they had a showbox on Showtime. You know what I mean? They had a showbox event, and another DC native. What's the guy's name? What's that kid's name? Somebody Douglas. Antoine Douglas was fighting, and Antoine Douglas was due for a title shot if he got through that particular fight. Yo, what going, Charlie Brown? What's happening, man? See you in the chat. Yeah, man. So the man Antoine Douglas fought this guy from Georgia, not Georgia, United States down south, but Georgia, a former a former country in the USSR, the Soviet Union. You know what I'm saying? The post-Soviet Union, and this guy Kurtzside, an older dude, very short dude, giving up a lot of height and reach versus Antoine Douglas from Southeast DC. Man, he put hands all over the man, Antoine Douglas, man. Kurtzside just went in, like demolished him. You know what I'm saying? I think he ruined. I'm not gonna say I think. He definitely ruined the kid Antoine Douglas. You know what I mean? Antoine Douglas was 19 at the time, and he fought a grown ass man and the man Kurtzside. That was a bad. Whoever was managing Kurtzside, I'm sorry, Antoine Douglas. That was dead wrong for putting that man in there with him. You know what I mean? But anyways, that was the first time I seen Kurtzside. But as you can see in the title, the man at Avtandil Khurtsidze faces 40 years and his racketeering trial begins. So apparently, Avtandil was on the verge of a mandatory world title shot against the man Billy Joe Saunders, the WBO's middleweight champion. You know what I mean? Avtandil had just knocked out Tommy Langford with a vicious left hook. You know what I'm saying? The man, Tommy Langford, just couldn't take that pressure for 12 rounds, and he capitulated, I think, in the seventh or the eighth, got caught with a left hook and left him on the floor. You know what I'm saying? Just in a bad state, you know what I mean? But, the man, Kurtzside, earned his mandatory shot at the world title against Billy Joe Saunders, but before he could get in the ring with the man, the 39-year-old Kurtzside, before he could get in the ring with Billy Joe Saunders, he was arrested as part of a Rico prosecution with allegations that he worked for an enforcer, a Brooklyn mob boss, a Russian Brooklyn mob boss by the name of Razdan Shulaya. Okay? Now, on Monday, yesterday, the boxer's racketeering trial began, and he's facing 40 years if he's convicted, you know what I mean? And the man Kurtzside has been in federal lockup since he got locked up a few weeks before he was about to get his world title shot at the man Billy Joe Saunders, you know what I mean? So according to the New York Post, you know what I'm saying, the New York Post is saying that Shulaya acted as the boss and Kurtzside was like an enforcer or a soldier. He acted as a soldier, you know what I'm saying? But Kurtzside's lawyer says that the two men, Shulaya and Kurtzside, that they knew each other from Georgia. You know what I mean? When they lived in Georgia in the USSR, and they just socialized together, but they're not associates in a criminal organization. You know what I mean? But apparently there's video. I haven't seen the video, but there's video out there that shows that Kurtzside was an enforcer or a soldier. You know what I'm saying? And the prosecutors are saying that there's several videos that show that the man Kurtzside is threatening or beating up people, assaulting them on the request of the man, this guy Shulaya, who they're calling a Brooklyn mob boss, all right? Now, in one video, Kurtzside is seen punching a man, straight up and down, snuffing him, punching him in the face after he accused the dude of stealing money from a kind of poker ring out there in Brighton Beach. That's why I never understood why Kathy Duva nut ass doesn't take guys like Sergey Kovalev and even Dmitry Bivol. These guys should be fighting in Brooklyn, man. Wherever they can get a fight over there in Brooklyn, whether it's the Barclays Center, wherever, because there's a lot of Russians down there in Brighton Beach. You know what I mean? And they'll come through and they'll definitely pay homage and support guys like Kovalev, who has actually like no fan base. He has no place that he could call home. But anyways, this ain't about Kovalev. You know what I mean? But apparently the man Khurtsidze is seen on camera snuffing somebody who's accused of stealing money from a poker ring that the guy Shulaya ran. And Shulaya then, after Khurtsidze snuffs the dude, Shulaya then slaps the man and tells him that he better pay up. You know what I mean? You check it. And according to that video, it says, and the prosecution says you'll hear threat after threat after threat made by the man Kurtzside, you know what I mean? So apparently the organization which Kurtzside belongs to, or that the feds are saying he belongs to, is being accused of running several illegal operations like selling untaxed cigarettes, running an illegal poker ring that cheated its players, and hacking the code on slot machine software so that members of the organization could rig the winnings. These sound like old tactics, you know what I mean, of rigging, them kind of vending machines that people play the tickets on, you know what I mean, like they play lotto, or them kind of slot machines for illegal, like kind of gambling, you know what I'm saying? When I lived back in Boston, I used to see them in like kind of like corner stores, you know what I mean? Corner stores in the hood, they had these kind of poker games or these kind of slot machines, you know what I mean? And apparently, if the owner is rigging the joint where nobody could win, or rigging it for, because they mandated, they controlled by the state, whichever state you're in, they're gonna control those kind of slot machines, you know what I mean? But apparently, some of these organized crime figures, they know how to fix them kind of slot machines so they guys could cash out, you know what I mean? But regardless of the fact, I don't think that the man Kurtzside deserves 40 fucking years for slapping a dude, you know what I'm saying? Unless the what you call it, the prosecution and the feds, they have concrete evidence that the man is definitely an enforcer, Kurtzside, for this Shulai and this Russian mob ring based out there in Brighton Beach, Brooklyn. Then unless they have that and they evidence that he's definitely an enforcer and has inflicted vicious harm on people. I mean, 40 years for snuffing, for punching a dude. Jesus Christ, man, what type of shit is that? You know what I'm saying? But that's the Rico, man. That's what the Rico's based upon. The Rico is, if they can't get one person, they just try to lump everybody in one case, and they can prosecute him that way. Basically, the RICO was formed by people like Giuliani when he was a prosecutor in New York City to try and take down the mob. You know what I'm saying? And this tactic worked in the mid '80s because the five mafia bosses in New York who do control La Cosa Nostra worldwide, or at least nationwide in the United States. Four of the five bosses got prosecuted, you know what I mean? I think the only one that didn't go down for life, and these fellas got life, was what's the guy's name? Castellano. The dude who had the big nose who got shot out there by, you know, on the behalf of John Gotti and Sammy the Bull, the Castellano dude. Was it? Yeah, it's Castellano, you know what I'm saying? He got shot at Sparks Steakhouse in Midtown Manhattan, you know what I'm saying? They left him dead on the street, gangland style, you know what I mean? Fellas with big fedora hats rolled up on him and sprayed him up. So he was the only one, Castellano, who didn't go down in that RICO that Giuliani and them formed in the mid '80s or early '80s. You know what I'm saying? They got the other four bosses. I know the one boss, the Carmen Persico, he got 100 years. Fat Tony Salerno, he got 100 years. So that's two of the five. Um, the Bonanno boss, them fellas was already in the joint already. Rusty Rogelio or something, he was already in the joint. Um, so that's three. The fourth, Tony Ducks Corrales for the Lucchese family, them fellas got life too. You know what I'm saying? So Paulie Castellano was the only one for the Gambino family who didn't get life because he got left on the street. You know what I mean? So the Rico, that's what it was formed for. You know what I mean? To gather up all organized crime figures in a particular group, whether it's a gang. They even hit fellas in the hood, whether it's Bloods or Crips. You know what I'm saying? They hit fellas in the hood or drug dealers, kingpins. They hit them with the RICO law or the kingpin charges. You know what I'm saying? You don't necessarily have to be caught with anything or found doing any crimes, but if you're lumped in inside the by the feds, if you're lumped up with everybody inside the prosecution, as far as everybody being put together and being called organized crime, man, you're going down, man. And that's what it looks like they trying to do to the man Kurtzside, you know what I mean? So it'll be a damn shame if the man Kurtzside gets 40 years just because he's on camera punching a dude, all right? You check it, even if the man was an enforcer, you know what I'm saying? They'd have to show proof and show proof that he committed other acts or violence, assaulting people, or anything that could incriminate him to be prosecuted for in the RICO, you know what I'm saying? You check it. Yo, what's goody, Shiz Biz? How you doing, man? I see you in the chat. Big said, big up, B Marsh. Where I going? Big up, son. You check it. So the man Kurtzside is in a bad predicament. This guy's obviously not a citizen of the United States. So even if he doesn't go down, I don't think we're gonna be seeing the man Kurtzside fighting in the ring anytime soon. Even if somehow, some way, escapes this conviction from the federales, you know what I mean? I see the man getting deported, and he's 39 years old. Basically, the man's career is over. It's a damn shame he didn't get the opportunity to get the man Billy Joe Saunders in the ring, because I was very interested to see how Billy Joe Saunders, whether he could deal with that pressure from the man Kurtzside for 12 rounds. You know what I mean? But the man Kurtzside got caught up, man. This reminds me of that movie, Lord of War, starring Nicolas Cage. You know what I mean? Nicolas Cage was a kind of gun runner. You know what I mean? But he was based over there in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? The guy was also from, I think, the Ukraine or something. You know what I mean? There's enough Russians over there in Brooklyn, down there, Brighton Beach, South Brooklyn, Manhattan Beach. So I think Kurtzside, man, it's a damn shame, you know what I'm saying? It's a damn shame. He's a guy trained by the trainer of Saddam Ali and Danny Jacobs. I think his name is Andre Rozier, you know what I mean? And it's a damn shame we're not gonna see the man in the ring. And I hope for his sake he don't get no 40 years, you know what I'm saying? Just off punching somebody, snuffing somebody in the face, you don't deserve no 40 years. But it's a damn shame he's getting guilty by association, I guess. And the feds, man, they have an 87.5 conviction rate. You know what I mean? The federales, they don't lose cases like that. You know what I'm saying? They got a higher budget. They got more resources and access on convicting criminals. You know what I mean? Whether it's blue collar criminals, whether it's street gangs, whether it's La Cosa Nostra mobsters. You know what I mean? So Kurtzside, I wish you the best. I was a fan. I definitely was a fan after you beat up Antoine Douglas from my city, D.C., from Southeast D.C. And I looked forward to all his fights ever since then, you know what I mean? And I like what he did against Antoine Douglas and Tommy Langford. Now I wanted to see him on his step up against Billy Joe Saunders, but unfortunately, we're not going to see it. B Marsh Boxer, let me know what y'all think about my guy Kurtzside getting. His trial began yesterday on Monday, and he's facing 40 years. Let me know if you think that is actually right, that he should face 40 years for just according to the feds, only evidence so far, unless they have more, that he snuffed somebody, and according to them, that he was the feds. He's an enforcer or or soldier for a Brooklyn mob boss Russian mob boss by the name of Shulaya. Let me know if y'all think this is uh, if this is justice, if he should get 40 years. All right, be Marsh Box, and I'm gone. Leave your thoughts and comments. Big ups to Shizbiz. Big ups to Charlie Brown. Go check out Charlie Brown's channel. Subscribe and let me know what y'all think in the comments section. All right, I'm gone. Peace.